Welcome back to News Geelong as we continue with more news and weather. The voters' voice throughout the city of Greater Geelong directly elected mayoral election has now been sealed in the envelopes at the offices of the Victorian Electoral Commission for the beginning of counting tomorrow morning. One of the 16 hopefuls is Angelo Koukouris, a seasoned campaigner in the local Geelong community, as Ian Nichols reports.
Well, Angelo Koukouris, welcome to News Geelong. Most people have probably cast their vote, so we apologise for that, but we did want to get your take on this incredible, this unique by-election, if you like to call it, for the mayoral position in Geelong.
Look, it's a real pleasure, and thank you for the opportunity to be on air with yourself and all your viewers. You've got a fantastic station, and it's viewed by a lot of local people here in Geelong, so it's a great opportunity to be here with you all.
Now, you've been campaigning very hard, like most of the high-profile candidates, and you do have a plan, you have a passion for Geelong. You've already been involved in a number of community organisations and events.
That's correct. I have been involved in the Geelong community my whole entire work in an adult life, so I'm very, very passionate about the Geelong community. I'm very well aware of the issues and what needs to be done in order to progress Geelong. Right through from Manicure to the Bellarine Peninsula. So very passionate. I'm a founding member of Bowen Health Foundation, Our Women, Our Children Volunteers, which is an organisation which we raise much needed funds for women and children's services. I'm also Rotarian and involved in a number of other community and sporting organisations throughout this region.
Well, I do remember talking to you some time ago now when we had the food campaign going on, and that was a worthwhile exercise. You like to get involved in these sort of things.
Oh, that's correct. Look, I'm a hands-on approach type of person. I don't like to sit by the sidelines and make comments. I like to actually physically get involved, and that's why I've put my hand up for the mayoral job. It's a job that I know that I can definitely do. Very passionate about our region, and I have plans and views on how to work together both with the existing councillors and of course the officers and the staff at the City of Greater Geelong. We live in a fantastic city. I'm very, very passionate about it. It's a city that often hits the headlines in sometimes in a negative way, which I'm not very happy to read. But it's something that we need to work towards improving it and making our residents and our ratepayers feel welcome, and of course our visitors as well.
Well, I noticed you haven't come out with any outrageous statements. You're working quietly behind the scenes and making it clear that jobs for Geelong is certainly one of the top things on your agenda. Look,
that's a very, very, very big priority for me, and like I said, I like to get my hands dirty and lead from the front, and that's why I nominated on the Minister's Small Business Council with Louise Asher, and that's an organisation of people like-minded who are in business that we get together and we come up with ideas on how to improve local businesses throughout Victoria, and of course how to attract new business as well throughout Victoria. And jobs is very, very important. If people have got a job, then obviously they can pay the mortgage, they can put food on the table. I established my business, Standby Security, back in '91 when I was 21. So I started at a very early age, and I know how tough it is. And back in '91, many of your viewers would recall it was a very difficult times, and especially here in Geelong with the collapse of Pyramid and other things that occurred throughout our region.
Well, you know tough times, and we know that we have been going through tough times in just recent times. You obviously have a plan to revive the city.
Oh, look, definitely. And one of the biggest thorns in our side as a city is the mall. I don't understand why there wasn't some precise planning done to make it an area where everyone can utilise. We have water squirting from the ground. We have a public toilet that constantly is vandalised and graffitied, so it's costing us a lot of money for the council employees there to clean it on a daily basis. There wasn't very much thinking on how do we develop something that people can visit, that people can go there at lunchtime like today and sit back and read a book quietly without being harassed. So it's unfortunate that we don't have people there with a vision, and that's not to say that's across the board with everyone, that has really sat back and planned it well and then executed it. Because, you know, it's ratepayers and taxpayers' money that we're wasting. If a mistake is made in a local business, or, you know, my business, for example, then I pay for it. If a mistake is made within council, the ratepayer pays for it. So with my background, both in the community and from a business background, I will treat all of the ratepayers' money with respect and make sure that the job gets done properly and it gets done the first time.
Well, we all know that something needs to be done about the Mal. It could be an absolute centrepiece for Geelong. Let's hope that you get to see some of your visions come to fruition.
Yeah, look, I hope so. And one of the things I also did mention in the media last week was the mayoral salary. I'm not doing it for the money. And what I was proposing to do was invest that mayoral salary into creating Safe City Geelong. Whereas we have security patrols on a Friday and Saturday evening into Sunday morning, where people can go out and feel safe. If you have visual presence there, communication with all the stakeholders in the CBD as well as with the police and emergency services, then people will feel safe visiting the CBD. But look, it's not all about central Geelong either. It's about the northern suburbs, and I'm very passionate serving on our Women, Our Children volunteers with Barwon Health Foundation, and I will be pushing very hard for a northern hospital. I think by having a northern hospital and facilities out there, it will alleviate the pressure for Geelong Hospital, and especially the southern suburbs where we are today. So the northern and also the Bellarine Peninsula. Sometimes people take the Bellarine for granted. We've got some fantastic businesses out there, and particularly the wineries, which I'm sure many of us enjoy, in moderation, of course, and some wonderful wineries and businesses out there that do export overseas as well. So again, I like to see those businesses be put up front and really showcased to demonstrate both locally and internationally how wonderful our region is as a whole.
There's no doubt, Angelo, you're not bereft of ideas, so we can certainly use somebody with your talent. So best of luck.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the opportunity to be here today, and thank you everyone in advance for your support in the upcoming mayoral by-election.
Thank you, Ian. And now to the weather outlook for Geelong and the Surf Coast for the Geelong expected over the next 6 days. Tomorrow, Saturday, we'll see cloudy conditions with scattered showers and a top of 18. Sunday will be cloudy with an isolated shower or two and a top of 19. Monday we'll see the cloudy conditions continue with isolated showers and a top temperature of 20. Tuesday continues with some warmer conditions, although partly cloudy, with a top of 23. Wednesday will also be partly cloudy with a chance of showers on the Surf Coast from the early afternoon, but a top warm day of 27. While Thursday will be partly cloudy with good sunny periods throughout and a warmer top of an expected 30 degrees. Today was partly cloudy with some local isolated showers. Windy conditions continued throughout, and we reached a top of 18 at around 1 o'clock this afternoon. And that's the weather outlook for Geelong and the Surf Coast for the next 6 days. This is News Geelong, as we head to a break and return with our ace sports reporter, Alex Tigani, and our weekly wrap on the Geelong sports scene.